Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for March 31st, 2014. And the final Raw before WrestleMania, my DVR does not record the last hour. I have seen the full show now though. But I looked ahead at Raw for next week, and the DVR says the final Raw before WrestleMania featuring The Rock, John Cena, Triple H, CM Punk, and Undertaker. It's just really bizarre. And that's for the week after WrestleMania. So anyways, on to Raw. The show starts off with The Undertaker. He comes out, he does his entrance, the whole thing. Then he starts talking about all the people he's defeated, how he drags them out into the water, and to where their feet can't touch the bottom. Undertaker promos, man. And they can try to fight him and pull him down with them, or they can swim to shore. And they all try to swim away, but they never make it. It was weird Undertaker stuff. So then Brock Lesnar comes out, and they have like a stare down. Heyman says that Brock's going to defeat the streak and all that. But they have a stare down. Brock acts like he wants to go get in the ring and attack The Undertaker. But then he turns back and he goes to head back up the ramp. Then he thinks about it again. He heads back. Then he goes back up the ramp. And this continues. So Heyman runs around to the other side of the ring, and he tries to run in with a chair. This distracts The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar runs in, starts beating down Taker, hits the F5, and then leaves. What's really weird about this is Brock Lesnar has destroyed so many people, and the chair was right there. Why would he not pick up the chair and just beat the shit out of The Undertaker before their match at WrestleMania? It doesn't make any sense, especially for Brock's character not to continue the assault on The Undertaker. It's Biggie versus Alberto Del Rio, and this was a good match, very fast-paced. I thought both guys looked really strong out there. Del Rio ends up winning the match with a kick to the head. Then we get a promo from Bray Wyatt talking about how he sees Cena as a monster, the world is bleeding from the inside, and she said, I guess referring to Sister Abigail, that Bray Wyatt would burn everything to the ground. It's Summer Rae versus Natalya. This is some storyline from Total Divas that I'm not even watching. Summer Rae comes out, she has her own entrance now, her own music and everything, and she beats Natalya with a kick to the head. Then Stephanie and Triple H come out. I really like this segment here. They're talking about how the fans will pick a guy like Daniel Bryan. He'll become the flavor of the week, and then when they're done with him, they just move on to the next guy. And he brings up Fandangoing, and how the fans all wanted to Fandango, but then they took Fandango and threw him away and didn't give a crap. And he says that Daniel Bryan is not here. They sent him to New Orleans. And the fans want to believe desperately that Daniel Bryan is a A-plus playa. Yes, he says playa. I went back and watched it. And he's not. So then they play this video of Triple H. And how all these superstars have fallen to the mighty Triple H. Booker T, Jeff Hardy, RVD, Kurt Angle, Goldberg, Scott Steiner. A bunch of guys who have gone to TNA, basically. And this is all narrated by Stephanie. I thought the video was great. And he says he's going to become champion. Then Batista comes out and he says he's not in the video because Triple H never beat him. So Orton comes out. He asks Triple H to reconsider being in the title match at WrestleMania. Triple H says no, and he tells Orton that he better find the Viper because tonight it's Orton versus Batista in a no DQ match. The pre-show match for WrestleMania is the tag team title match. It's actually on the pre-show, which is 2 hours long. WrestleMania is a 4-hour show, and now you're telling me the pre-show is 2 hours. This is 6 hours of WrestleMania. That's too much. That's unacceptable to me. I cannot watch all of that crap. And you know if there's only one match, the rest of it's just a bunch of backstage stuff, a lot of stuff putting over the network. That's what it's going to be. So then it's the Usos and Los Matadores versus the Real Americans and Rybacksel. There was a guy in the crowd, just one guy, holding up this bent, crumpled sign that said Cesaro section. And damn it, he was the only one doing it, but it was so hilarious to me for some reason that this guy had this little tiny crumpled up sign just holding it in the air. But this was a decent match. The crowd was really into this one. Los Matadores used Twin Magic, and they get Jack Swagger in a small package for the win. So I didn't really care for the finish. I thought it was stupid. I'm not a fan of Los Matadores, but the match was decent. Then it's Fandango with Damien Sandow versus the Rhodes brothers. Goldust hits the final cut on Sandow for the win. And this match was okay, but what was the point of this? The Shield cut a promo on Kane and the New Age Outlaws. Then it's Bray Wyatt versus R-Truth. Who do you think won this blockbuster? Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail for the win. Then the Wyatt family attacks Xavier Woods. They sit down to do the follow the buzzards thing. And behind them, a figure approaches wearing the sheep mask. And he just stands in between Rowan and Harper. And they turn and look at him, including Bray Wyatt, and they stare at this guy for a good 40 seconds. Of course it's Cena. Who else would it be? So they stare at this guy like, what the hell's going on here? I did not care for this at all. So Cena takes the mask off. He hits the AA on Rowan, and then they all just escape. It's AJ Lee versus Naomi, who has lost the eye patch. I guess her eye is fully healed now. And they got the Lumberjills out there. And everyone hates AJ. So AJ rolls to the outside, and all the Lumberjills are coming after her, and Tamina stands in front of AJ to protect her. This makes no sense because on SmackDown, Tamina turned on AJ. She fed AJ to Brie Bella, who hit her with the facebuster and beat her. So why is she trying to protect AJ here? Not to mention when Vicky announced this Divas Invitational Tournament, or whatever the hell it is, Tamina was making that face smiling like she's happy she's going to get a title shot too. So what the hell was this? This made no sense. So the Lumberjills just beat down Tamina and AJ. Then they throw AJ in. Naomi hits her with her ass and gets the win. Then we get a typical Cena promo. He's talking about Bray Wyatt, Mania, the network. And he says he's going to stuff his foot in his ass. And then they do the Raw panel, which consists of Wade Barrett, Alex Riley, and Booker T. It's Kane versus a member of the Shield. The fans could vote, so of course it's Reno Reigns. And the match was not very good. The Outlaws come out to ringside, so Ambrose and Rollins fight them off. Then they try to triple powerbomb Kane, but the Outlaws pull him out of the ring and save him. And then they just leave. Then it's Piper's Pit. I dread these segments. Roddy Piper just... all the Piper's Pits for like the last few years have just been pretty bad in my opinion. Maybe a few good ones here and there, but for the most part I dread the freaking Piper's Pit. So he keeps getting interrupted by The Miz, Sheamus, Titus O'Neil, Dolph Ziggler. And they're all in the ring, and then Piper pokes Miz in the eye, which was good. I did like that. And they all start fighting. Then a bunch of the other guys who are in the Battle Royal run out. And then Rey Mysterio comes out. He returns. And they're all fighting. And then finally Big Show comes out and just kills everyone. So the main event is Batista versus Randy Orton. No DQ match. Triple H and Stephanie come out to do commentary. And Orton and Batista just beat the hell out of each other. They used chairs, kendo sticks. And eventually Daniel Bryan, who's not supposed to be here, runs through the crowd and attacks Triple H. And he's just going off on him. And then Orton runs out to try to help Triple H, and Batista spears Orton. And then Daniel Bryan hits Batista with the flying knee. He continues to beat Triple H's ass all over the place. He hits him with a kendo stick. Just everything. It was great. And that was the end of the show. A really fun way to end this show. So I thought this was good stuff. And overall, this show, what would I say about this show? The go-home show for WrestleMania 30, I can only say that it was disappointing. And it's not that this show in particular was really bad. This was an average show. Nothing really good here, but it was solid the entire time, I'd say. So it wasn't like it was a bad show, But for the go-home show for WrestleMania 30, this should have been so much more. If I was not going to the show already, and I was actually buying the show, or this was going to make me consider getting the network, I would not be purchasing this. It just would not be worth it to me personally. So I feel like they definitely could have done more with this week's show. But anyways, that's my review. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on the show in the comments, and thanks for watching.